Well, hello, folks. This is Tyrone Jackson with Divine Image Production, giving you the right outlook, meaning that we highlight real life challenges, but that with an answer. And we have here Mr. Reginald Foreman.
Sir, man.
And come all the way down from where you come. Well, you've been traveling everywhere, right?
Right. We just came from St. Louis, Missouri, so I went from Richmond to St. Louis, had a couple of events to speak at, and now we're here in South Florida, MIA.
All right. Well, you know, one of my most heartfelt questions I like asking anybody is, what's your motivation for what you do?
Well, motivation changed around, and now it's set in the right, because you start off with money or family and success, and ain't nothing wrong with that, but mine is being obedient to God and helping people. I need a purpose. Why do I exist? And I know it's beyond paying bills, so purpose and helping other people.
Okay. So, what are some of the, how long did it take for you to redefine your purpose or redefine the foundation of your purpose?
That's a good question, man. It took a while because a lot of times when we're doing something wrong, sometimes we have truth mixed in that. So we'll lean toward the truth and like, man, this is working for other people. And sometimes things is working for other people, and sometimes it's not. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So just recently, man, I just came out of what they biblically call a wilderness session.
Okay.
Where I was, man, I was knocked down. I had to stay with somebody for a while. Financial was going up and down, and I went on a 21-day fast. And I was seeking God, man, praying and asking Him for His will and not mine, because I kept doing it my way. And like I said, I got on TV, made a fashion line, wrote a book, some things happened, but I was noticing that it wasn't going to the height, because success may look like it's happening, but I truly didn't have peace. So in that session of 4 months is when I refined it and said, listen, all right, God, your way and not my way. And since then, it's been peace when things have been opening back up again.
Okay. What are some of the biggest highlights you have experienced so far since you made that turn to the right direction? Most of the people already know about your background as far as your time in prison, how you came out of that, and how you started pursuing what God called you to do. Mm-hmm. What are some of your biggest highlights? I guess you would say a pivotal point for you.
Well, truly, my biggest highlight is having peace. Once you chase money or a certain rate, and you find out that it's temporary, you want that peace. And I'm 42 years old. I know I look young. I look like I'm 35, but I'm 42 years old. So peace is very valuable to me. So first, getting peace and being in one-on-one with my Creator, with God, is very valuable. Then the other thing is, of course, success, seeing doors open when I speak to people. And I'm more empowered by knowing that I'm doing it right, and I'm not doing it scripted or doing it out of my will. That helps. And you know, we got some big things. I'm writing a new book. It's called There's Purpose in Your Pain. God loves you even when He doesn't answer your way. I'm going to say it again. There's purpose in your pain. God loves you even when He doesn't answer your way. And God gave me that book in a month. Once I refocused, that book started writing. And now we're getting ready to do a one-man show play. It's going to be me traveling, doing my life story as a play, like Mike Tyson did on Broadway. That was given to me. So basically, through me humbling myself, God was just throwing things at me that I need to do, because now it's a refocus.
Okay. What type of influence do other people had in your life so far since you left the prison scene? And what are some of the most profound words given to you and spoken to you that have put you on the right track?
Profound words. Well, I'm going to start off with the first part you said. Most influential, I started watching Tyler Perry for a while because I'm a writer. So, and then I love to see success stories, people who came from nothing, like me. So he helped me out a lot. Him and from FUBU, Damon John.
Right.
I watch him a lot because it was business and it was spiritual at the same time. So those are people that watched that. I went on the journey with fashion and doing my own film story and things of that such. Now, I can't put down a key phrase right off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I'm stuck. But those are the people that definitely helped me. I'll bring it back. One thing, I'll tell you this. Regardless of what they said, I'll tell you what God put in my spirit that I tell other people that helps me. Do not panic.
Do not panic.
When you panic, you make hasty decisions. You panic and you go, man, I done signed contracts, got into deals because I thought it wasn't going to work or I needed it fast. I learned do not panic, do not rush God's will. That's some of the big, and then that's been told to me from other people. I don't say I created that myself, but the do not panic. Got a plane there, y'all. It's all I want to say.
It's a regular thing. You want to be outside, so you show the background, the sun.
Yeah, man. Coming back to Miami was great, and we needed this. But I always get this illustration. Let's imagine behind the door, a couple of feet from you. Behind that door is your healing if you're sick, your mate, the bad wife or husband you always wanted, $1 million, whatever. And you're going behind that door to get it, but standing in front of that door is a Rottweiler, a pit bull, whatever dog that you're terrified of. And he's growling and slobbering, and you're like, look, I need my healing, or I need my mate, I'm tired of being lonely, or I need that $1 million. So you say, I'm going through this dog, and you inch closer, and you get there and you find out he has no teeth. And I learned a lot of times through our word, we make our situations worse than they really are. A lot of situations is fear. Oh, this is going to happen. So that's why I said, do not panic. It's something I carry with me. Take a time, breathe, pray, and say, hold up. Because as soon as you react, you make bad decisions is what I've learned.
Yeah, so you're saying let peace rule your heart.
That's what I said. Peace. All I've been learning is peace.
Peace
if you can't find your keys in your house, if you stop, oh man, they've been sitting there the whole time. That peace, I'm telling you, small the biggest things.
Right. Yeah, me personally, I have a 4P rule that I go by. It's prayer, and on top of prayer is purpose, power, and potential. If you're in prayer with God, He'll give you the wisdom and understanding to, one, understand your purpose, and once you understand your purpose, then within there you reveal your power and your potential.
I like that.
So prayer, my abbreviation for prayer is power release at your earnest request. So you're earnestly seeking God for understanding, insight, concept, and ideals will be birthed within your spirit, and that will help define your purpose. And within that purpose, you'll start seeing what your power is and how powerful you are, and understand the potential that you possess in your hands.
That's good. That's true. I like that.
But with that peace in there, it's vital. Because you can have all of that, but without that peace,
I'm telling you,
juggle it and fumble it and mess it all up and wind up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's in the Bible. It's in other people's stories where He'll tell you just be still.
Right.
Because a lot of times it's not time, and then panicking and not having peace makes you react too fast. You know what I mean? I always tell people when I'm speaking, would you give your daughter or son at 16 a brand new red Corvette? Most of the time, like, no, they can't handle that type of gift or present because it's what comes with it. Right. And that's how we are with some of our blessings. Some of us want a wife or a husband, and we still live single. We're not ready to give ourselves to nobody else. And then a lot of money brings a lot of things inside of you and family members. That's why you see people, look what happens when they win the lottery. Right. They go crazy, they be broke, and everybody be coming at them. So one thing I learned to trust more through this wilderness season is to really let God lead. You do your studying. I study my business. I got YouTube school. It's in my book, Live Determined, ReginaldForeman.com. But I call it YouTube school. I stayed learning how to do my own logo. I created this logo, but it got me a fashion magazine deal. But what I'm saying is, you do your work, but there's a certain time to apply it. That's a certain time that God opened the door. I had to turn down a $25,000. The bird trying to outpost. I had to turn down a $25,000 investor, which was hard at the time. But because the way they were trying to move and trying to control everything, they were going to turn my vision into their vision. So, but if I didn't have the strength to say, all money is not good money, and then you have to be at the right timing. I knew if I'd have went the wrong way, I probably wouldn't have lasted with it. So that's what that piece is really. Peace is connected to all that in your movement.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. What type of feedback do you get when you go on a tour and you go to a church or you go to a community center and you present yourself to the youth? What type of feedback you get from them?
One thing that I love about that is being authentic. You get to see, because see, you can get adults to try to smile in your face in there, but them kids, they gonna tell you how they like it. They gonna show it. They don't know how to act. So I've had even kids crying. I've had them run up, Mr. Reggie, you did this. My pain became purpose. Yes, I've had some success in their life, which is good to own a fashion brand. Sometimes, like I said, I'm 42, I wear the Jordans or the certain shoes they like because it draws them in. But it's my story and me being authentic. I don't try to fake it. I don't try to pump fake or whatever. I tell them the truth. So the reaction has been great, man. A lot of them want to follow me on Instagram, email me. They got But what's real is they have real life questions. A lot of them are suicidal, they're hurting. And we don't give enough time to hear what they're saying. So because I went through so much, and I'm saying this again, you went through a lot in your life, and it's not me or Oprah or just TJ's, whoever it's called, you're called to help somebody. So I had to utilize what I've been through to meet them where they are. And that's why I get a lot of good feedback from them. The only time I don't get good feedback is when somebody is stubborn and ain't ready to change.
Right.
And you're going to get people like that.
Right. And I just learned that, we call to seed and another person called to water, but God gives the increase.
That's right. That is, you said it right. Don't never think that what you said has not gotten their system. Because I remember people told me stuff, and it'd be like a month later, like, man, that brother did tell me. It'll pop up in my head.
Right.
You plant that seed, and they look at you like, man, whatever. Believe me, they heard you.
Right. Yeah, that's a powerful concept that if you're told to speak, speak it. It's not so important what kind of response you get from it. If the time is right, you've done your part. And leave it at that.
Plant that seed.
As we get caught emotionally, because the person that receives us right, they didn't perceive us right, do your part. Make sure you do it out of love and in truth. Because, we have a lot of people telling the truth, but they're not telling it in love.
That's right.
And we have a lot of people
that's right.
acting lovely, but not being truthful.
That's a good point, man.
So I always say, my whole thing on that is love without truth is too soft, and truth without love is too hard. So love the truth, and you'll truthfully always be loving.
All right, so when we going to get your book, Tyrone? You got some good points here. You got some, y'all hear him now. He got some good points. I'm going to make him write a book. I'm on him. But you said something that was so powerful with that. I've learned, the Bible says, with season and salt, you can give somebody some great information, but you know how you get tired and you want to be because I was tough. Even when I'm separated from my wife now, but when I was with my wife, you want to force something on somebody because you want to see them change. Man, you can be saying the greatest thing, but they don't want to hear it the way you giving it to them.
Right.
I hate to bring up Bill Cosby, but it's an episode on the Cosby Show where he said and it was so powerful when one of his daughters brought a new guy to the house and didn't tell him and just surprised him and say they married.
Oh.
He said, if I put a steak on the garbage can top and gave it to you, what's wrong with it? Like, we wouldn't want that. He said, there's nothing wrong with the man you brought, it's the way you presented him to me. That was the most profound thing. I was like, the way you present something, I'm not eating that beautiful, luscious steak on no garbage can top.
Right.
So how you present something to somebody, and you can be right, but if you do it wrong, love always wins.
Yeah, like you said, you can have all the right information, but presentation is everything. You can have a bad product, but if you present it right, people will take it.
I don't know about that one.
Well, what I'm saying is, presentation is the sell.
Yes.
Whether your product is good or not, it's all about how you present it and how you perceive.
Because, well, you know what? If they don't know it's bad,
right,
and you make it seem like it's the best thing the way you present, you're right on that part.
Yes,
right.
That's where gonna come from.
And then they get it like, man, this piece of junk, but he made it sound so glorious. You're right. I'm with you.
Yep.
You can't present it and make it seem like the best thing they need in their life.
Right.
Knowing they don't need. You got a garage full of stuff you don't need. But they saw that ad, it was presented right.
Right. And so there's a lot of stuff going out there that sounds good, looks good, smells good, but it's not necessarily good for you. And so we got to learn how to be more intuitive and testing the product, examining the product, investigating the product, so we can make sure it's a good product.
We do, and not getting something because it's the newest fad,
right?
And everybody else got it, right? Indeed. Just like chasing careers, everybody can't do fashion. Everybody not going to the NBA,
right?
And so you have to be able to understand your gift, and that's just the most powerfulest thing that I understand. When I understood 6'3", people wanted me to play basketball, be in sports. African American, big black guy. Oh, what sport you playing? I was an artist. I draw. But coming up in the Chicago projects, you was a punk in the hood if you didn't if you didn't sell dope or rap. But then it's a sport. So being that I didn't start writing and creating until I was 30-something. I finally walked in my purpose. So I tell people, God created you with a gift. This man is a herbalist, gardener, but he does filming and interviewing. So what I'm saying, he has so many talented gifts, but the thing is that he found out what he did and he's helping people. He just 10 minutes ago I was sitting up there about to fall asleep. He gave me a concoction of fresh stuff and I'm energized. true fact. So what I'm saying is, if you learn your gift and you honor it, and God will honor you, don't worry about how everyone else is being successful. You'll be successful.
Because one of the worst way to attempt to live is to live a lie, or live as a fake. And a lot of people are dying as copies instead of living as an original.
Man, you don't get that book ready, man.
So your real peace is in your purpose. So you get to understand that purpose, then you can really establish yourself in your peace, and people will see it, and people will come to you and inquire about it, and because they see your product is authentic.
When you in your authentic self, you'll draw people.
Right.
There's something about you. I like how you move. Cardi B, plain example. I mean, ratchet, whatever you want to say, but she's real. She's her.
Right.
I have pastors and people saying, man, no, I ain't supposed to be listening to her music, but it's something about her realness that draws me to her. She being her from day one.
Right.
And that's what you just said. You'll draw people being authentic. Now, you don't mean you just going to act wild and think you're going to be the next Cardi B. No. What I'm saying, because you got everybody else just want to live the way they want to live on social media now because somebody opened that door. But what I'm saying is, like he's saying, if you're authentic, especially with your gift, people will inquire.
I mean, it takes more work to be fake at the end of the day, because you live in a lie, and you got to tell more lies to back up that lie.
That's right.
So there's a lot of work, and that's why a lot of people are suicidal today. They entertain suicide when they buy themselves, because they finally realize that this lie is too much of a work, and it's a lie. And they haven't come to resolve that they have to be honest to themselves, and when they finally become honest to themselves, they don't have no outlet to run to. One, they probably left God. They were deep into religion, but not a personal relationship with God.
That's right.
And so now everything that's been told to them in one way or another is a lie. The social media, the magazines, and all this thing saying you can be this way and that way. But is that the way God told you to be?
Because once you find out that it's a counterfeit and an illusion, you put your hope into it. And then some people are embarrassed. Some people are feeling like, I don't want to let people know I failed and I didn't listen. There's so many reasons to draw people away instead of just owning it with the truth. Say, listen, like we said, you don't lose, you learn.
Right.
Look, I messed up. I need to get it right, and that's what I had to keep doing. I need to learn because I knew that there was greatness in me, and learning to be my authentic self will help me out.
No, I mean, only true failure in life is you're not trying. But if you're trying, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down. Right. You might even fall back a couple yards. But the thing about it is learn how to fall forward. Hey, I made a mistake, but I'm getting back up by the grace of God.
That's right.
So, me, life is another relation for me, living in full effect. You say, Christ come that you may have life and have that more abundant.
That's right.
So, his life is living in full effect, and you only can live in full effect when you understand who you are, why you're here, and what's your purpose.
Yeah.
So, we have to go to the altar of life to give you that insight, concept, and idea.
That's a good point there. Just to end with, my toy lion, Reggie the Lion, was coming out in stores. His motto is, we help children believe in their self, their dreams, and God. So it's not in the order of a place that I put God last because I'm a bona fide, faith person. But what I'm saying is, it's hard for somebody to really believe in God if they don't believe in themselves. I mean, they're becoming a carbon copy of somebody else. And so having faith that you deserve God is what I'm saying, or you deserve better, then you can believe God. Because you go to God and every time somebody says something or they're trying, I don't know, just that worked for you. So getting people to believe in themselves and authentic self and trusting God is a good parallel, and that's what we're doing, Reggie the Lion.
That's right, I like that.
Indeed.
What's this on the front here? It
Well,
said God made.
It said God made on the front. We're gonna have different prototypes. The logo is gonna be on there.
Okay.
But yeah, he came out of a tragedy. I had 2 children. Well, pregnant. My wife was pregnant. We had twins, and my daughter died. And, God gave me a vision of creating a doll that can speak positive affirmations. I don't know if y'all can hear that.
I want you to know that you are a winner. You are smart. You are strong. You are brilliant. Never give up. You never lose. You only learn. You are created for greatness. You are good.
So repeat that with the dollars.
So what he's saying is, you are smart, you are strong, you are brilliant. Never give up. You never lose. You only learn. You are created for greatness, and you are blessed. And it's going to be longer, but this is just a prototype to show people what he's going to be speaking. The purpose of him is to keep our children 2 years, 1 year old, running around saying everything they repeat. I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm blessed. You want them to get in that psyche and in their mind. And so we teamed up with psychologists and teachers
you say you've gotten teamed up with?
Yeah, we've had some. I had some meeting with some psychologists, and a teacher, another Head Start teacher has been there for 20 years, and they're saying, "Do you understand what this is going to help help kids overcome trauma that they've been through, problems? Because you have to renew your mind." That was the only way. This is really a vision of me. The only way I can renew my mind. I was a man, bust you in the head with a gun, fighting, suicide. I was going through all the angry at the world. Mother was on drugs. Dad went to a pimp. I was abused. I was angry. And so when I learned the scripture said, I accepted Christ, but I still had problems.
Right.
So when I went to Romans 12:1-2, he showed me, said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right.
So after I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior, I got to work on renewing Reggie.
Right.
And so reading stuff, preparing myself, learning that the Oprahs and the Tyler Perry started off in poverty and they can make it, I can make it. So helping children renew their mind. And then one guy told me, which makes sense, I'm going to help kids believe before they can even doubt. So this playing in your toddler's bed or one or two running around dragging them and playing them all the time, it helps them build up a wall so when the evil and the negativity come at them, you already have the right words implanted in them. We're talking to sponsors right now and funding, because I know a lot of people saying, when he's going to be ready? The website is ReggieTheLion.com. ReggieTheLion.com. You can see all the write-up and all the psychologists, all the speaking and videos on him until we get him out to the market.
And is there a donation option on your page?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is, because this is not for boasting to say, I just made a toy line. No, this really is what needed to be helped. The other day I was presented with a 12-year-old that was talking suicidal and hating himself at 7 years old. That should not be. So this is really purpose to help other people. And yes, if you want to donate or you know somebody that might want to get behind this, it's ReggieTheLion.com. And mine is ReginaldForeman.com.
And like you said, words is everything. Words paints image. The image becomes resident within your spirit, your soul, and your body.
It will transform your walk.
Yes, I mean, they even have to the level of making chemical changes in your body. Just a word.
That's deep.
And that's why nutrition is a vital part too, along with positive affirmation, godly words, painting an image in your head. Because everything's connected. Everything's connected.
That's good.
We have a lot of kids out here on drugs and psychiatric drugs, and a lot of folks don't know, like Prozac and some of those drugs, they deplete vital nutrients from your body, such as vitamin A, vitamin B, and C. And so, how can you really function if you're lacking key elements that your body needs? Mess with your mind, mess with your physical activities. So there's a lot of things that need to come together.
I heard the herbalist, and that's what he had me on, taking more vitamins, helping me get there, because I can do all this motivational and power speaking, but if I'm not taking care of my body, I won't be able to take care of what God told me to do in last night.
Right.
So thank you.
Yeah, so there's a combination, and you gotta get to understand that combination that works with your spirit, your soul, and your body. Because your body houses your soul and your spirit, and if it's weak, then the other part of you can't function properly.
I'm learning that.
That's a quality water, adequate sleep, right nutrients in your body can make a difference. Make you think clearly, make you more focused, and full of energy to do your thing.
You gotta have that energy, and it keeps you more positive when you have energy.
Correct.
When you're down, it feels like depression is just your body completely.
Right. Well, like you said, words paint images, and you want to paint the right thing in people's mind and heart. If they have the right image, they can do a lot more. Because, we call to be an answer to our generation, right?
That's right.
And I always say, like as I said, words paint images, right? And how you perceive a thing determines how you receive a thing. So you got to make sure your perception is right. This I learned from a pastor back in San Diego, Pastor Bundy C. Bird Jr. has a book out, Perception Determines Reception. And your perception determines reception, and if your perception wrong, your reception is going to be wrong. So you got to get the right perception about who you are. And like I say, if you couldn't be successful in this dispensation of time, God would have created you in another time. But by the fact that you're here, you call to be an answer to your generation.
That's good.
But you got to learn how to live as an original and not as a copy. How copies fade. The original lives on.
Amen.
So I know you pressed for time and all, and I appreciate you stopping by here and giving this opportunity to interview. And godly proud of you, highly
Thank
proud
you.
of what
Thank
you're
you.
doing and things of that nature. And so, you know, I got your back. And
Indeed, you do.
I'm just honored that you gave me this opportunity here with Divine Images Production. Give me the right outlook. But until next time, keep the mind right, keep the heart full of love, live well.
Amen. Thank you for being out. Remember, you're creating God's image for greatness.